Scene 27.9. Hey y'all, APG Jamie here at my Purple Door Studios. Having received at least one request, Judy, I thought I would actually try making a video to show y'all how I do my brayer off technique. I'm using a regular, plain old piece of cardstock to clean my brayer. Because I'm using craft paint, it tends to develop those paint boogers. Yes, I said boogers, but you can call them what you want. Anywho, I don't worry about them on my Brayering off paper because it is what it is. Boogers. For this example, or these examples, because I have like, 3 pages I guess, I'm using the jelly plate off screen. Because the point of this video is the brayering off, not the jelly. It's about the brayer, people, the brayer. Also, I'm going to the jelly plate and reloading the brayer more often than I would if I were doing prints. When I pull out the jelly, I tend to make 3 to 5 different papers with the same color scheme. They don't come out exactly the same, but that's the fun part of both jelly printing and this brayering off technique. So I have my brayer loaded up with paint. I bring it down onto the paper using a light touch. I said light now, and roll it in one direction, then I scooch over a bit and roll it in the other direction. Sometimes I just go back and forth, but I always begin with a very light touch. You don't want all your paint to end up in one big smooch, although that can be a nice effect sometimes. Once the majority of the paint is off the brayer, I roll it a few more times with pressure to be sure I did indeed get all the paint off. I don't worry about those boogers. I think they had a bit of je ne sais quoi. Yeah, that's probably right. I usually use 3 colors when playing with the jelly plate. You can roll however many additional colors as you like using the same using the same back and forth direction as you did the first time, or you can roll it perpendicular. That's fancy words for the other way. One horizontal, one vertical. Anyway, typically by the time you have pulled your print from the jelly plate and added your next layer of paint to it, the brayer off paper is dry enough to use again. Like I said, I usually use at least 3 colors. Hey, it's my favorite number. But you know, that whole me, myself, and I think. Nah, I believe it's really because of the Holy Trinity. And I pause for a nod on that. Thank you. There has even been a time or two where I was really just happy with 1 color on my brayering off paper. Nothing wrong with simplicity, you know. With a little practice of my technique, you will find what works best for you. That is, if you want to brayer off like I do anyway. Not to say there's anything wrong with cleaning your brayer into a book, your journal, or on book paper or scrapbook paper, whatever you typically do. And yeah, you can use this technique for those too. I've been doing it this way since I first got the jelly plate. And I like it much better than just rolling the brayer back and forth on the same paper to end up with the streak of whatever color mud it wants to be. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Now, I'm not saying that I invented this brayering off technique, but I haven't seen anyone else do it this way. So, yeah. You can try putting texture bits underneath the brayer off paper for fun if you want. And I want to offer a few words of caution. It's very easy to overdo the pop of black with this. You know, when you put that black on the jelly plate and then you clean your brayer off, use an extra light hand on that. Also, deli paper doesn't work so well to brayer off onto, as it tends to stick to the brayer and it can all roll up in there and it just turns into this nasty crumpled, still skinny, what the heck, and yeah, a mess. Remember, however you do it, just be sure that you don't stress about it. You can still try this even if you don't have a jelly. I want to mention about using plexiglass or other surfaces to brayer your paint on. The effect is close enough that only you would know. Insert a wink here. Granted, it's not as smooth of an application with the paint on a piece of acrylic, but it still works plenty good enough, especially if you're wanting a paint paper with this look. Also, an FYI, you can use a ceramic tile. Both the acrylic and the tile, and the jelly, work well to make a paint stamp pad, paint pad. Yeah, for lack of a more better word, paint pad, it is. What? You couldn't help but notice I have an accent? Really? Well, bless your heart for thinking so. But I think I sound pretty normal for a Hoosier. Yes, 'tis true, but I got to Texas as soon as my 2-year-old legs would carry me, and thanks to the parents, too. I guess that just about wraps it up. Oh, let me show y'all the finished papers I just made. Shh. Let's be quiet as we marvel at their loveliness. Thanks for watching. I hope you had a couple of laughs and/or some gigglage. P.S. This may sound rehearsed or even a little scripted because it was. Happy hearting, y'all.